Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to plant some sweet corn. This is what I'm planting. Incredible sweet corn from Hoss Tools. I'll put a link in the description below. I get most of my seed from them. Had really good luck. We got corn seed from them, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds, and they've all done really well. But I've already tilled all this ground behind me here. It tilled a lot better than the last video you saw. We had trouble because the ground was so wet. So I've already got this tilled. I'm going to mark out my rows. My row spacing will be 3 feet apart. That way I can run my tiller in between, keep the weeds down until the corn's grown enough to kind of shade the weeds out. And then I'll space my corn seeds about 6 inches apart. So I'll show y'all how I'm going to do all this. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, so what I did here is I got my string that marks my row all the way down here to the other end. And that gives me my row right there. So what I'll do is I'll go back with my hoe and I'll make a furrow, and that's where my seeds are going to go. So see you in a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. I had to change hats. The other one's hot. It's really hot out here today. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and make this first furrow and plant some seeds in it, and then I'll just move the camera along and you can see the progress. Alright, I got my first furrow made, and now I'm going to move my string over 3 feet. Like I said before, I like about 3 feet row spacing. It gives me enough room to get the tiller in between to cultivate until the corn gets big enough to kind of shade out all the weeds. So I'm gonna move this over and I'm gonna lay some seeds down on this first one. Alright, like I said a while ago, I had to take a break. The marble broke down, so I had to go take care of that. But anyway, I already got one row planted, measured over 3 feet, got my other row marked out for my next furrow. I'm going to do that, so y'all just watch. Alright, we got all of our corn planted. Now I'm going to go back over it every row with this hoe, cover up the seeds, and then I'll come back and give you all a few tips. Alright guys, I'm finished planting the corn. I just wanted to give you all a few tips and pointers. Now, I'm no expert. Maybe, we'll get some people to chime in, give us their tips too, because I certainly don't know it all, but I can tell you what's worked good for me. First of all, when you're planting your corn, you don't want to plant it in a spot where you planted corn the year before. So last year in that spot where I planted, I had beans, and they add nitrogen back to the soil because corn is a very heavy nitrogen feeder. So that's what I did. Also, when you plant your corn, being that it's wind pollinated, meaning that it doesn't get pollinated by bees like flowering type plants. So you want to make sure you plant your corn more in like a block. So you wouldn't want like one or two really long rows. You want it more like a block kind of. It don't have to be perfectly square or nothing, just several rows wide. That way, you know, they do get pollinated, and I can show you what I'm talking about later on when the corn tassels out, because those little seed looking things in the top, that's what pollinates the silks, and that's how you get the kernels inside the ears to grow. Also, after your corn starts coming up, let it get about 6 inches or so tall, maybe a little bit taller, maybe 10, we'll say 10. I like to lay down some nitrogen, and I've got a previous video from last year. You can look that up. I'll put a link. And anyway, you want to put some furrows in between each row, and in that furrow, that's where you want to lay your nitrogen. Then you want to cover it up, because you don't want that getting on your plants, because it will burn them up. So you want to make sure that you give them plenty of nitrogen at that point. And then I like to wait until they're maybe a couple feet tall, do it again, and then once you see silks on the ears, and I like to lay down one more. And you can kind of tell whenever you need nitrogen, because if your plants aren't like a dark green, then they definitely need it. Like I said, they're a heavy feeder, and they also need a lot of water. And once you do get silks on there, you want to make sure that you watch out for the corn worms. They'll get on there and they'll get inside that ear, and they'll eat your whole ear of corn. It'll ruin it. So like I said, later on I'll do some more videos on different stages of the growth and show you what you need to do. Make sure you have a healthy crop. But I hope y'all enjoy this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. We'd appreciate it. Give us a like, comment below if you have any questions, and tell us there's maybe something else that you all would like to see. So see y'all next time.